ready for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about Tommy Rivs,
Yeah.
an ultra-marathon runner.
Definitely beyond personal bests and finish lines with this guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So much more to his story.
Really using his platform to explore these profound lessons about resilience and mindfulness and really what it means to live a meaningful life.
Yeah, for sure. And all of this is inspired by rockingultra.com,
Yes,
which is a blog
it is.
packed with insights for all kinds of runners, all levels, beginners, people tackling ultras.
Yeah, if you're just starting out or if you're like a seasoned ultra runner,
Absolutely.
there's something there for you.
No, full disclosure, we are just AI voices, kind of like the Cliff Notes,
Yeah.
summarizing these awesome articles.
Yeah.
So if anything you hear today piques your interest, definitely head over to rockingultra.com to read those full stories or check out their books on Amazon.
Yes, definitely encourage that.
But for now, let's get back to Tommy.
Okay.
What makes his approach to running so unique?
Well, he really sees running as a form of meditation.
Okay.
He has this amazing quote, "When you run, you enter a flow. You're forced to be present. You can't think about the past or the future. You're here now."
Wow.
It's really about tuning into your body, to your breath, the environment around you, and that presence just kind of spills over into everyday life.
Okay, so it's not just clocking miles.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating this like mindful awareness
Yes.
that impacts how you approach everything.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and it gets even more interesting. Tommy believes that suffering both in running and in life is not something to be avoided, but embraced as a teacher.
Okay, now hold on a second. Isn't that a bit extreme?
Well,
How does that actually work for everyday runners?
yeah.
Those of us who aren't tackling these 100-mile races.
Right. That's a great question. And, it's not about seeking out pain, but about shifting your perspective.
Yeah.
Think about it like hitting a wall during a run or pushing through fatigue. Those moments can teach you about your mental fortitude, like your ability to dig deep. And that resilience translates to other challenges in life,
Okay.
you know?
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, you learn to reframe setbacks as opportunities for growth, not failures.
So it's about finding meaning in those tough moments.
Yes.
Both on and off the trail.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how this all connects.
Yeah, and Tommy doesn't shy away from vulnerability either. He's very open about his struggles and encourages others to do the same.
Okay.
He says, being vulnerable doesn't mean being weak. It means having the courage to show who you are with all your fears, hopes, and fragility.
Okay, but how does being vulnerable actually make you a stronger runner?
No.
It seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, it's about connecting with yourself and others. When you acknowledge your weaknesses, you can address them, you can work on them. And when you share those vulnerabilities, you build trust, you create a community of support, which is essential in running and in life.
That makes sense. And speaking of community, this is where Tommy's story takes a really difficult turn, right?
Yes, it does.
He was facing lymphoma.
Yes. In 2020, at the peak of his career, he was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of lymphoma.
Wow.
The prognosis wasn't good and the treatments were grueling,
Yeah.
leaving him weak and barely able to walk. It was a devastating blow.
So this is a guy who is literally pushing the limits of human endurance, and then suddenly he's facing his own mortality.
Yeah.
That's a lot to process.
Absolutely. And this is where the philosophy he'd been cultivating through running really came into play. He had to dig deep draw on that resilience, that mindfulness, that sense of gratitude, even in the darkest moments.
It's almost like his running philosophy became his survival guide.
It really did.
Yeah.
And he credits the running community for a huge part of his journey. There was this outpouring of support from all over the world, fundraisers, virtual runs, messages of encouragement. It showed the power of human connection, something that rockingultra.com also emphasizes in their content.
Wow. So even in facing something as terrifying as cancer, he was able to find those like glimmers of hope and support. What were some of the key lessons he took away from this experience?
Well, he often talks about 3 profound lessons. The first is that every day is a gift. Facing his mortality made him realize the preciousness of life, how we often take it for granted. He says, there's no guarantee of tomorrow. Live today as if it's a miracle because it is.
That's a powerful reminder, not just for runners, but for everyone.
Right.
How does that actually translate to running, though?
Well,
Does that change how you approach training?
Absolutely. When you view every run as a gift, a celebration of what your body can do, it shifts your mindset. You're less focused on pushing to the limit and more focused on enjoying the process, appreciating each stride. Even rest days become important because you're honoring your body's need for rebuttery.
That's fascinating. So it's less about achieving specific goals and
Yes.
more about savoring the experience itself.
Exactly, and that leads to a second lesson. The body is a temple to be honored.
Okay.
After years of pushing his body to the extreme, Tommy developed a new appreciation for its resilience, even in its fragility.
So it's not about punishing your body.
Right.
It's about respecting its limits,
Yeah.
appreciating its capabilities.
Exactly. He says, even though I'm fragile, I'm grateful for what my body can still do. This shift in perspective can really change your relationship with running. It's not about conquering your body, it's about working with it, listening to its signals, and appreciating what it allows you to do.
That makes so much sense. It's like shifting from a mindset of, I have to run, to I get to run.
Right.
Okay, what's the third lesson?
The third lesson, and it's a big one, is that community is everything. The support he received during his illness reinforced the idea that we're not meant to go through life's challenges alone. We need each other.
Yeah,
He says, we are not alone. The strength of a community can turn pain into hope.
that's beautiful. And it's something that resonates with what rockingultra.com is all about,
Yes,
right? They really emphasize the community aspect of running.
they do. They understand that running can be a solitary sport, but it's also a shared experience.
Hmm.
The encouragement, the shared struggles, the camaraderie, it all contributes to a sense of belonging and support, which can be incredibly powerful.
So it's not just about the physical act of running, it's about the connections you forge along the way,
Yes,
both on and off the trail.
exactly. And you know what's amazing is that after all he went through, Tommy didn't just survive, he thrived. He returned to running, but with a completely different perspective.
So it wasn't about competition anymore.
No.
It was about something deeper.
It was about celebrating life, honoring his body, and reconnecting with the activity that brought him so much joy. His return was a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity.
It's incredible to think that he was able to find that strength and resilience even after everything he'd been through. So this return to running, was it just a personal thing or did he share his insights with the world?
Oh, he absolutely shared his journey. In fact, he distilled his experiences into 5 profound lessons that he now shares to inspire others. These are insights that go far beyond running, offering wisdom for navigating life's challenges.
Okay, so let's dive into these 5 lessons. What are these profound takeaways that Tommy wants to share with us?
Welcome back to the deep dive. It's incredible to see how Tommy's story, while deeply personal, resonates with so many runners and non-runners alike.
It really does. It's like his journey through ultra running and lymphoma just gave him these insights that apply to all aspects of life.
Exactly. And those 5 profound lessons he talks about, they're like a roadmap for navigating challenges, finding meaning, and living a more fulfilling life. And, you know, it all ties back to a core message of rockingultra.com, finding that mental balance, that deeper connection with running.
Okay, so let's unpack these 5 lessons. What's the first one?
The first lesson is the beauty of the present moment. Tommy emphasizes the importance of being fully present in each moment, appreciating the simple things, and letting go of worries about the past or future.
That sounds a lot like mindfulness, which can be a bit of a buzzword these days. How does that actually play out in running, and how does it help you in everyday life?
It's about shifting your focus from the finish line to the actual steps you're taking. Instead of obsessing over your pace or distance, you tune into your breath, the rhythm of your stride, the sights and sounds around you. And that same awareness can help you be more present in conversations, savor a meal, or appreciate a quiet moment.
So it's like training your mind to be more grounded, more in tune with what's happening right now, both on and off the trail.
Exactly. And that leads to the second lesson, which is to embrace suffering, not avoid it. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, we touched on this earlier, but I'm still a bit skeptical. How can suffering be a teacher? Isn't the goal to avoid pain and discomfort, especially in running?
Think of it this way. Those moments when you hit a wall during a run, when your legs are screaming and you want to quit, those are the moments that test your mental fortitude, that show you what you're truly capable of.
So it's not about masochism. It's about finding strength and growth in those challenging moments.
Exactly. And it's not just about physical endurance, it's about mental and emotional resilience. Tommy says, suffering is not the enemy, it's a teacher. It shows you who you are and gives you the chance to become a better version of yourself.
So it's like those tough runs can prepare you for tough times in life, teach you how to push through and come out stronger on the other side.
Exactly. And that resilience can help you tackle challenges at work, in relationships, in all areas of life.
Yep.
And, you know, rockingultra.com has some great articles about mental training for runners, how to develop that inner strength. It's definitely worth checking out.
I'll add that to my reading list.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the third lesson. What is it?
The third lesson is that there is no strength without vulnerability. This one might seem counterintuitive, but it's incredibly powerful.
So we're talking about embracing your weaknesses, your imperfections. How does that translate to running?
Well, think about it. When you acknowledge your limitations, you can address them, work on them. Maybe you're a slower runner or prone to injuries. Instead of beating yourself up about it, you can focus on strategies to improve. Find a training plan that works for you.
So it's about being honest with yourself, and that honesty can actually lead to improvement.
Exactly. And it's not just about physical limitations. It's about emotional vulnerability, too. Sharing your struggles with running buddies, being open about your fears and doubts, can create a deeper sense of connection and support.
That makes sense. It's like when you share your vulnerabilities, you create space for others to do the same, and that builds trust and community.
Exactly. And that leads perfectly to the fourth lesson, finding meaning in connection.
This is something that's come up a few times already. What's unique about Tommy's perspective on connection?
He emphasizes the importance of human connection, not just for support, but for finding meaning in life's journey. He says life is richer when we are connected to others. Whether it's a community of runners, friends, or family, mutual support makes everything more bearable.
So it's about realizing that we're not meant to go through life alone,
Huh.
and that connection can be a source of strength and purpose.
Exactly. And in running, that connection can be found in running groups, online communities, even just acknowledging fellow runners on the trail. Those shared experiences, those moments of camaraderie can make all the difference.
And it's not just about running, right? I mean, this applies to all areas of life.
Absolutely. It's about nurturing your relationships, showing up for your loved ones, contributing to your community. It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected, and those connections are what give life meaning.
That's a beautiful insight.
Eh.
Okay, we covered 4 lessons. What's the 5th and final one?
The fifth lesson is that every step is an act of gratitude for Tommy. Running is no longer about competition or personal bests. It's about celebrating life, expressing gratitude for his ability to move, and appreciating the simple joy of putting one foot in front of the other.
So it's like a shift from focusing on what you achieve to appreciating the process itself.
Exactly, he says. Every step I take is a reminder that I'm here, that I've overcome the impossible. This perspective can transform your entire running experience. Instead of focusing on how far or how fast you're going, you're grateful for the opportunity to move your body to experience the world around you. And you know that aligns perfectly with the philosophy of rockingultra.com.
How so?
They emphasize finding joy in the journey, not just the destination. They have articles about appreciating the little things, finding beauty in the everyday moments of running, whether it's a sunrise over a trail, a shared laugh with a running buddy, or just the feeling of the wind on your face.
That's so cool. It's like they're encouraging runners to cultivate a deeper appreciation for the experience itself, rather than just focusing on external goals. And I love how these 5 lessons seamlessly connect to one another: mindfulness, embracing suffering, vulnerability, connection, and gratitude. It's like a holistic approach to running and to life.
It really is. And you know what's amazing is that these lessons, while inspired by running, can be applied to any activity, any challenge you face in life.
So it's not just for runners, it's a framework for living a more mindful, resilient, and connected life.
Exactly. And that's the power of Tommy's story. It shows us that even in the face of immense adversity, we can find strength, meaning, and joy. And running can be a powerful tool for uncovering those inner resources.
This has been incredibly insightful. I'm starting to see how running can be so much more than just a physical activity.
Yeah.
It can be a pathway to self-discovery, a source of resilience, and a way to connect with yourself and the world around you.
It absolutely can be. And that brings us to the final part of our deep dive, exploring how we can tap into the transformative power of running, whether we're seasoned marathoners or just starting out.
Okay, I'm excited to explore this further. Let's lace up our metaphorical running shoes and dive into the transformative potential that lies within each and every one of us. Welcome back to the deep dive.
No.
We've been talking about the inspiring story of Tommy Rivs, an ultramarathoner whose journey has given us some powerful life lessons, all inspired by rockingultra.com, a blog that goes way beyond just giving you running tips.
Yeah, they really show how running can help you learn about yourself and make you stronger.
Exactly. So for the last part of our deep dives, let's talk about how we can all use running to make positive changes in our lives, whether we're training for big races or just starting out.
You know, one of the best things about running is how simple it is. You don't need special gear or tons of training.
Yeah, just put on your shoes and go.
Right.
But we've also talked about mindfulness, resilience,
Yeah.
gratitude, all within that simplicity.
Right.
So how do those ideas actually work when you're out there running?
Well, let's start with mindfulness. Running can be like a meditation in motion. As you run, you start to focus on things like your breathing, your stride, the sound of your feet on the ground. You become more aware of your body, what's around you, in the present moment.
So it's a way to quiet your mind and just focus on the experience.
Exactly. And that focus on the present moment can carry over into other parts of your life. You might be more attentive in conversations, appreciate simple things more, or feel more grounded.
Okay, that makes sense. But how about resilience?
hmm
How does pushing your body physically lead to mental and emotional strength?
Well, think about it. Every time you push through a hard workout or go for a run when you'd rather stay on the couch, you're building mental toughness. You're showing yourself that you can overcome challenges even when they're hard.
So those moments when you're tired and want to give up during a run actually help you face challenges in other parts of life.
Exactly. You develop grit determination, the ability to keep going when things are tough. And that can help you deal with setbacks at work and relationships anywhere you face obstacles.
That's pretty amazing.
hmm
And we've talked a lot about gratitude. How does that come into play with running?
Running is a great way to connect with your body and appreciate what it can do. Every step reminds you of your strength, your ability to overcome things, and the wonder of movement.
You know, it's easy to take our bodies for granted until they don't work the way we want them to.
So true. And running can help you be thankful for your physical abilities even as you get older or face challenges. It's a celebration of what your body can do. And that thankfulness can go beyond yourself.
What do you mean?
When you run through parks, forests, along the beach, you might feel awe at the beauty of nature. It can remind you that you're part of something bigger connected to the natural world.
That's a beautiful way to think about it. So it's
Mhm.
not just about the physical benefits, it's about connecting with your body, your mind, and the world around you.
Exactly. And that feeling of connection can extend to other people too.
Yeah.
Whether it's a nod to another runner, a smile on the trail, or a conversation with a running buddy running can create a sense of community and belonging.
It's like being part of a group of people who share your passion, your struggles, your wins.
Exactly. And that sense of community can be so supportive, especially when you're facing challenges, a tough training schedule, a disappointing race, or just the ups and downs of life.
And it's not just about official running groups, right?
Hmm.
Even acknowledging another runner on the street can create a connection.
Absolutely. It's about realizing that you're not alone, that others share your passion, your challenges, and your love for running.
And I think that goes back to what Tommy Rivs said about finding meaning in connection. It's not just about support, it's about realizing that we're all connected. And those connections make life richer and more meaningful.
You got it. And that's the beauty of running. It can be a way to so much more than just physical fitness. It can help you learn about yourself, build resilience, and find connection and meaning.
It's like putting on your running shoes opens up a world of possibilities.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to be an ultramarathoner to experience these benefits. Whether you're running a marathon, training for a 5K, or just starting to jog, the power of running is there for everyone.
It's about taking that first step, embracing the challenge, and see what you're capable of.
And if you're looking for guidance or inspiration or just want to understand the mental and emotional side of running better, check out rockingultra.com, Paul. Their articles and books have so much knowledge and insight for runners of all levels.
And don't forget, we're just AI voices summarizing their great content. So visit the website for full articles or check out their books on Amazon. It's a fantastic resource.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a question to think about.
Okay, I'm ready.
How can you take the lessons we've discussed today, mindfulness, resilience, gratitude, and connection, and use them in your own running, whether you're experienced or just starting out?
That's a great question to think about. It reminds us that these ideas aren't just concepts. They're tools we can use to make our running better and live more fulfilling lives.
And remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Just start with one small step. Pick one idea that speaks to you and find a way to use it in your next run. Maybe it's being thankful for your strong legs or embracing a hilly route or just smiling at another runner.
Right. And as you explore these ideas, you might be surprised by the positive changes they bring, not just in your running, but in your whole life.
So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep running towards meaning.
And as always, thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time for another exciting exploration of the ideas that shape our world.